My middle school homeroom teacher came to Shanghai to send his daughter off to the US for her PhD. The weather forecast says a typhoon is coming tomorrow, and tonight we can already feel the strong wind. But on a summer night, a little breeze by the river is just perfect. Hi everyone, I'm AK. I'm from southwest China's Yunnan province, but now I live and work in Shanghai. I've been here for 11 years now. After the college entrance exam in 2015, I was lucky enough to get into a university in Shanghai. So I came here for college. In September 2015, before the semester started, I left my hometown for the first time alone. Took my first flight, arrived in Shanghai, saw the subway for the first time. Basically, I experienced countless firsts in my life. I still remember the mix of fear and excitement when the plane took off. I looked down at the mountains of Yunnan shrinking beneath the clouds and thought, this is it. I'm leaving everything behind. Landing in Shanghai felt like landing on another planet. The sheer size of the airport, the endless streams of people, the gleaming skyscrapers, and the subway. I had never seen anything like it. I stood on the platform watching the trains whoosh in and out, completely overwhelmed. But quickly I adapted, and over time the city became my second hometown. And time flies in a blink of an eye. 11 years have passed. I studied in Shanghai for 6 years for my undergraduate and master's, and after graduation, I stayed here for work until now. Mr. Liu was my homeroom teacher in middle school. He's a really kind person and always took great care of me. I was born in a remote mountain village in Yunnan, and I went to primary school in the mountains. So I knew very little about the outside world, but I loved learning and I was always top of the class. And because of that, after primary school, I was fortunate enough to get into the best middle school in the city. That's when I met Mr. Liu. Mr. Liu started at the school the same year as I did. He had just transferred from another school, so we were his very first class of students in this middle school. He was young at the time, full of energy and idealism. He treated us not just as students, but almost like his younger siblings. Since my family wasn't well off and money was tight, there were some scholarships for students from low-income families. As our homeroom teacher, Mr. Liu was very responsible and made sure every scholarship was distributed fairly. He didn't want a single deserving student to be left out. That left a deep impression on me. He would ask me not only about class affairs but also about my personal life, whether I was eating well, whether I was adjusting to my city life. He always had a warm smile. In the first year of middle school, because I had never studied English in my rural primary school, I knew absolutely nothing about the language. I don't even know its name English. When I arrived in the city, English class became my biggest challenge. The first lesson, the teacher spoke entirely in English, and I didn't understand a single word. It's true. I felt so lost and embarrassed. But my desk mate had grown up in the city and had learned English since elementary school, so he had a solid foundation. He was patient with me. He explained basic grammar to me, taught me how to pronounce the alphabet, and even lent me his extra exercise books. Also, my English teacher gave me extra help after class, using simple Chinese to explain concepts. And I was the one always had a lot of problems and questions to ask. I'm truly grateful for all their help back then. I worked incredibly hard to memorize vocabulary, to practice listening on an old public radio machine of the class, and read aloud. Despite having no foundation after the first semester, my English grades were already among the top in the class. I even remember getting a perfect score on an English exam in 8th grade. When I saw that 100 on the paper, I almost cried. It was proof that hard work pays off. English went from being my weakest subject to my favorite, and it still is. Not just English. I love languages in general. That's one of the reasons I'm learning Spanish on my own. I started learning Spanish a couple of years ago. At the beginning, it was just for fun, but soon I fell in love with the melody of the language. And learning language isn't just about words. To truly master it, you also need to understand the culture and the history behind it. I love the passion of Spanish-speaking cultures, the music, the food, the literature, the way people greet each other with warmth and enthusiasm. I always dreaming of traveling to Spain or Latin America someday, not as a tourist, but as someone who can truly connect with the locals. I think that's one of the main motivations for most language learners, to explore different worlds through language. Back to Mr. Liu. Even though 14 years have passed since I was in middle school, and he has taught class after class, we've always stayed in touch. Every time I go back home, I meet up with him for a meal and a chat. He always asks about my work and my life in Shanghai, and I ask about his current students. I remember Mr. Liu often talked about how today's middle school students are very hard to educate. Many young people, influenced by smartphones, they have easy access to social media and short videos, and that's a lot of unhealthy content that affects their mental and physical well-being. Their willingness to study has dropped, and they find it harder to stay focused and dig deep into their learning. I also feel that the internet and short videos have had a huge impact on our lives. It's a double-edged sword with both pros and cons. On one hand, we get instant information and entertainment. On the other, our attention spans are shrinking, and a genuine human connection is suffering. This time, Mr. Liu's daughter is going to Boston for her PhD studies, and since her flight departs from Shanghai, the whole family came here first. I met them at Pudong, right by the Huangpu River, close to the Oriental Pearl Tower. The wind was picking up and dark clouds were rolling in, but the city lights still sparkled on the water. We had a dinner together and talked for hours. He told me how proud he is of his daughter, but also how worried he is about her living alone so far away. I could see the mixed emotions in his eyes, pride mixed with parental anxiety. After seeing her off, Mr. Liu and his wife were supposed to fly back to Yunnan, but a typhoon happened to pass through Shanghai, so all flights were cancelled. they had to stay an extra 2 days. I joked that the typhoon was a sign from heaven, giving us more time to catch up. We walked along the Huangpu River that day, and I couldn't help but reflect on how much my life has changed since those middle school days. Mr. Liu is one of the people who has had the biggest influence on my life. He taught me not just knowledge but also integrity, compassion, and perseverance. Later, in high school and college, I met many other wonderful teachers. Their kindness and warmth helped shape me into the person I am today. I often think that if it wasn't for them, I might still be in that mountain village, never knowing what the world has to offer. Education truly changes destiny, and teachers are the bridge. Do you still remember your elementary school, middle school, or high school teachers? Do you have any memorable stories with them? Maybe a teacher who inspired you, or one who scolded you but made you better. I would love to hear your stories. Please share them in the comments. And if you're learning a language or moving to a new city, I hope my story gives you a little encouragement. Thanks so much for watching, and take care.